Hello and welcome to Brenton Pack Expo Connects. My name is Jason Eniga. I'm the industry sales manager for the Brenton Integrated Medical Systems. Understanding that life science type projects have additional industry-driven requirements, Brenton has formed our BIMS group to give a focused approach to those types of projects. We're going to look at several different solutions today. One will be a sterile tray handling solution. Secondly will be a solid dose end-of-line solution. Thirdly will be a vial packaging line. And fourth will be a blister pack or thermoformed packaging line. We'll go start with the sterile tray handling solution first.
This example of a Brenton robotic tray handling system was comprised of multiple robotic cells. This system was designed to receive packages at a rate of 320 parts per minute. As the parts were delivered into the system at the first robot, they were collated and picked and placed into a single awaiting tray. Once that tray was completely filled, it was picked via the secondary robot and placed onto a base that then formed a stack of trays. That stack of trays was then indexed forward into the customer's sterilization system. At the discharge of the sterilizer, once the cycle was complete, those stacks were then indexed forward onto a Brenton designed stack conveyance system. Those stacks were then indexed and fed to a downstream unload system. The first robot in that system would then pick the top tray from that stack and place it into the servo-driven indexing conveyor. That indexing conveyor then indexed the tray row by row to a pair of robots that would then pick the parts out of that tray and place them onto a conveyor that fed it to our downstream end-of-line solution where we cartoned, case packed, and palletized those parts. As the empty tray was indexed forward, we inspected that tray to ensure that there was no parts left in that tray. That tray was then fed to a buffer system, which then eventually would feed back up to the upstream solution and then refilled. This is another example of a custom solution designed by Brenton to accommodate the customer's needs. Please let us know if you have any more questions about this cell or if you would like additional information. Thank you.
So with all our solutions here at Brenton, they can be customized to your application. Next, we're going to go look at a thermoform or blister pack packaging system.
This blister pack end-of-line solution was comprised of a M2000 case packer equipped with robotics, a Tekra shrink bundling system, and an RP1000 robotic palletizing system. The product was received from an upstream thermoforming process onto our servo-driven indexing conveyor. Here, the product was flipped and nested and stacked into a racetrack-style conveyor that fed to a secondary robot. That secondary robot then picked that stack and placed it into the awaiting wraparound style case. The flaps were closed, product was tamped, and then case glue is applied to the case prior to discharge of the case packer. At the discharge of the case packer, the product was tipped to accommodate case labeling. Case labeling is done with an ID Technologies print and apply labeler. We also did a vision inspection on that label for correct printing, and then it conveyed forward to an auxiliary robot, which then formed the pack pattern for the Tekra bundler. There is various pack patterns depending on which SKU is being run. Once the stack was formed, it was conveyed forward into the Tekra bundler through the web of film. At the discharge of the tunnel, the product was introduced into the robotic palletizing system. As that bundle was conveyed forward to the pick zone, we check weighed the bundle and then picked it to present the bundle into the labeler, and then also in vision inspection of that label, and then to the pallet. Once that pallet was completed, the roll-up door would rise for pallet pickup.
All of our thermoforming or blister pack solutions can be integrated into a full end-of-line solution, or they can be developed to load into a carton or a case, depending on what your requirements are. Next, let's go look at a solid dose line.
Brenton solid dose end-of-line solutions are comprised of a robotic case packer and robotic palletizer, along with the ancillary equipment that sits in between, such as check weighers, labelers, etc. Today we're going to focus on the robotic case packer, and more specifically on our semi-automatic changeover system that we have developed for customers that have to run different bottle types and sizes for their customers. This system utilizes a cart system. Each cart houses an individual end-of-arm tool. Upon initiation of a changeover, the robot places that current end-of-arm tool into the awaiting empty cart. This allows for the technician to remove the pneumatics and electrical connections from that tool to the robot. This is all done via quick disconnect. Once that's completed, the robot will then lift up and present itself into the new tool that it needs to run. The technician then repeats the process and reconnects the electrical and pneumatics into that next tool. You'll notice that the technician never has to lift up a tool, which can cause damage to the tool and or cause ergonomic issues for that operator. Once the new tool is reconnected, the technician indicates that via the HMI, and the system is ready to run the new SKU. This allows for a quick, repeatable changeover each and every time.
So as you've seen, we can do solid dose solutions in a top load format, or we can also do an end load style case as well. We can also couple them with other ancillary equipment and tie it into a robotic palletizer at the end of the line. Next, we're going to go look at a vial packaging line.
This vial packaging system is comprised of an M2000 case packer, NJM print and apply labeler, and robotic palletizer. You'll see bottles are introduced into the system via a servo-driven screw infeed. This infeed then fills lanes to collate the product prior to case loading. There is an inspection system on the infeed which looks for all the caps to be present on all the bottles prior to case loading. As the cases are erected on the case packer, the bottles are then indexed forward to the case loading station. You'll notice we are containing the product on all four sides as we load into the case. This is a unique loading system that we developed for this product. Once the bottles are loaded in the case, we developed a custom solution to load 2 IFUs into the case. One was printed online and one was pre-printed. Once the IFUs were in the case, we then presented the case to the closing and gluing station of the case packer. This is where hot melt glue is applied to the case. The filled case is then labeled on an NJM labeler with a corner wrap label. Case is then conveyed to a robotic palletizing system where we collated a 2-case pick for the robot to pick and place the cases. Once the pallet was full, the pallet was then conveyed out of the cell through a safety-rated roll-up door for a pallet jack pickup. If you have any questions on the system, please let us know.
All of our vial applications can be comprised of loading into a plastic tray, a corrugated case, or a chipboard carton, just depending on what your applications require. Like case in point, the line behind us is a new application we're developing for loading vials into a plastic tray.